Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to BioShock Infinite. So we're doing the DLC, Burial at Sea. We did episode 1 and not really surprising, it turned out that we were Comstock. In all honesty, I think I had seen a spoiler of some part to know that at least that Elizabeth was going to betray us at the end of episode 1. And when you saw, if you'd played the main game, you pretty much had a good guess that there was a 50% chance you were going to be Comstock instead of Book with DeWitt. I am very interested to see how this is going to go now, though. We ended with our stomach being hit by a Big Daddy's drill, so what's this going to be about? I guess we can look at previously. Might as well.
They told me, son, you were born to do great things. They were right.
This is from the first game.
And I aim to keep you alive. You think that's a child down there? She's a little sister now. Somebody went
and those little sisters look different than the little wonders that we were playing in the DLC.
Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find it? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch?
Did that airplane crash? Or was it hijacked?
This would be very weird if it turns out. If it turned out that Comstock became Andrew Ryan. Or Frank Fontaine.
I sent you topside. I called you back, showed you what you was capable of. Even that life you thought you had, that was something I dreamed up.
I wonder which ending they chose here.
You saved them.
The good ending, I guess.
Gave them the one thing that was stolen from them.
From the first game. And Jack in the main game had the chain on tattoo. So is Burial at Sea episode 2 gonna have nothing to do with the episode 1? Would I like to see a recap? We just looked at it, so I'll say no. La Poco de Tim's Cafe, a sunny day in an outdoor cafe.
Sally, come out!
She wasn't yours, Comstock.
It seems worse that Elizabeth just burned Sally.
No, you're not. But you're about to be.
So this is a bad Elizabeth. So maybe we'll play as Jack from BioShock 1 in the floating city of, what was that called? I think a sea.
Mademoiselle?
Yes?
Quel est votre nom?
Elizabeth.
Pour vous, Elisabeth.
Oh no, I couldn't.
She finally made it to France.
Je vous en prie, j'insiste.
Oh, thank you.
It's funny to look at an animation of an animation that already looks a little rough. So this is unexpected. Oh, Colombia. So it would be interesting, I guess, to play as Jack in Colombia. Slightly. I can't jump, and this is nice. Everybody knows her name, so this has to be a dream. It's...
Bonjour, Monsieur Surratt.
Bonjour, Mademoiselle Elisabeth. Je manque d'inspiration aujourd'hui.
Everything is in French, and it wouldn't be translated probably if I didn't have the subtitles on. I don't have any guide.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, Elisabeth. Bien le bonjour.
So which way am I supposed to be going here?
Bonjour, mon ami.
This is very much what it was gonna be like at the beginning of BioShock Infinite, just have you wandering around.
Comment ça va, Elisabeth?
And let's see if this area connects. Apparently kids just ran out of this doorway. And I can't run, so I'm gonna end up doing this. You can look at the cheeses. Scenes like this don't really help BioShock in any way. Like, it's not what the game's about. There's no splicers, there's no killing, there's no shooting, no weapons. I imagine if what's gonna happen is that the tears open up and splicers decide to attack this place, and then Jack shows up and we found a dog. And she's humming to herself.
Comment ça va, Elisabeth? Bonjour, petit trésor. Je vais te croquer.
Like, I suppose that would be interesting. That was the bad ending of BioShock 1, and potentially you could have had a slightly bad ending, I think, of BioShock 2 also, where the little sisters and the splicers and decide to come to the surface world and attack. With the multi-dimensionality of BioShock Infinite, it would only make more sense if they're looking. But what are they looking for? Or what are they trying to accomplish with that, really?
I'm sorry, Cosette. Next time, I promise.
Cosette from Les Miserables. These kids are the exact same kids from Columbia. In a weird way, this is kind of Elizabeth's fantasy world where all the people of Columbia are happy and good. Getting it right on the nose. Aren't you? Age of Innocence. Something terrible's gotta happen. Now, it certainly makes a good question as to why didn't, in the main game, why didn't Booker DeWitt just let her come to France and have a little bit of a vacation? She'd get bored of it eventually. Well, this is lovely. She'd get bored of it. Or bigger yet, why not let everybody, her and Booker, stay in France and just live their lives? The people that he owes money to would... Ooh, nice poodle, that's new. I don't think anybody would have ever been able to track down Booker in France. Although who he actually owed any money to is in question. I don't think he actually did. I think he was just confused. And I guess then you can explain everything away as confusion. Look at these 2D fruits and vegetables. It's kind of low effort. And we finally... We need to see if she is the one with the red ribbon and the bird on her necklace. If that's the version of Elizabeth that we're looking at right now. The bird in the cage, why not have both? So this is the cage and the key question again. So here we've got a girl that's gonna release a balloon when we talk to her, and it's Sally. It's Sally. What is she doing here? Is Sally perhaps the version of Elizabeth that died and lost her head? If that's the case, how would she even have been alive? I guess it doesn't matter.
Sally? Sally! Come back!
And of course this was all a dream and it all just went dark, and one assumes that yeah, you can't go back up that way. This makes very little sense considering Elizabeth intentionally tried to kill every variation of herself in killing every variation of Comstock and Booker DeWitt, assuming there weren't versions of Booker DeWitt that simply never
Sally, wait!
went to Wounded Knee at all. There may have been versions like that where him and Anna, or Anna/Elizabeth, stayed together forever. And see the picture there is giving us more of a hint. Feels like we went full circle. So it feels like the game's gonna have us walk the whole distance twice.
Sally, stop! Sally, where are you going?
And those balloons are looking more and more like tears.
Sally, hold on!
Playing cards. And are we still on ground, or are we transitioning? Here you have a medical thing, and we're transitioning into what Elizabeth's real life was out of the fantasy. This might be part of the conditioning and the brainwashing that happened to her in the sanatorium that turned her into the evil version of Elizabeth. Here you can see wrenches. But there really weren't any crows in Rapture. Not that I recall, at least.
Where did she go?
Man, it's getting dark. Or ravens. There were bees in Rapture. And the walls are closing in on us to the point where I can't even walk any further. And we're going to Booker DeWitt's.
Go away. It wasn't my fault.
It totally was your fault.
I didn't do anything!
It was totally your fault.
No! It wasn't my fault!
Apparently I didn't
Just leave me alone!
do a lot of them.
I'm sorry! I never should have left. I never should have left you there.
Yeah, you kind of have to start this way, don't you, if you want Elizabeth to be a character you even like. She has to be at least a little bit sorry for what we saw at the end of the last game.
Empty. Empty again. What are the odds?
What's the hold-up?
Just having a bit of a laugh, Atlas.
This ain't a sporting event. Put a bullet in her. No need to torture the poor girl. We're not animals, you know.
All right, all right.
Let her go!
Quiet down, dear. In a minute, all your problems will be over.
Elizabeth, tell him you can get him back.
Booker? Booker? What?
Say,
I don't understand. How?
Say, I can get you back to Rapture.
What?
Just say it.
I can get you back to Rapture.
Put the gun down.
So now she's seeing
What was that you said
Booker
about Rapture?
I
helping
can
her.
get you back to Rapture.
And how you plan on doing that, sister? You some kind of magician?
Suchong.
What?
Tell him Suchong.
Suchong.
And how do you know that, slant-eyed wonder?
You're his lab assistant.
I'm his lab assistant.
If it escaped your notice, Andrew Ryan sunk us 5,000 fathoms below his shining city. How does Suchong propose to get us back?
That's between me
That's between me
and the slant.
and the slant. But if I do this, the girl goes with me.
Little sisters are worth their weight in gold. She's not up for negotiation.
Last time I checked, back in the city they were making little sisters by the dozen.
That's a right fairy tale you've dreamed up, sister. But if you're lying, we can just as well kill you tomorrow.
So these guys aren't really
Down here,
that much of splicers.
but time. In case I need to get hold of you. If you see Suchong, tell him Atlas says he hasn't forgotten him.
And so we know Atlas is Frank Fontaine, or at least he was. And they changed it from Little Wonders to Little Sisters again.
Elizabeth, come on, it's time to get moving.
Booker DeWitt.
What?
Over here, on the radio.
You're not Booker.
Well, of course I ain't.
What have I gotten myself into? I didn't orphan that girl. I didn't kidnap her.
But she made for some exceptional bait, didn't she?
Had to be done.
Did it?
I felt everything that every version of me felt. All of that knowledge. I lost a pinky, but that version of me, she lost everything. In Comstock, that final Comstock, he thought he could avoid his guilt by coming here.
You educated him proper.
But then why am I back here? Huh? I don't remember opening a tear to come back. And who are you? Huh?
I think you'll figure that out soon enough.
So she's saying this was the final Comstock version. That's this is a weird setup. Let's look at what we are gonna have. We're gonna have some guns, and it doesn't look like we may even have Eve. Let's see, I can jump, but I can't jump over this, so they don't even want me over on this side of the map. So the story is that was one final Comstock, and the entire first half of this DLC was all built around the revenge plot to kill one final Comstock. Seems petty and pointless. Why didn't she try to save this Sally? Wouldn't that have been a more noble goal? I guess inherently this is partially the problem with Elizabeth in general. Is she's a child in a young adult's body, growing up by her.
I was happy. And now I'm here dealing with this Atlas, this psychopath. What was I thinking?
I wasn't Paris any more than I am Booker.
Now I have to find this Suchong, and I don't even know who that is.
Not yet, but you know he's the key, don't you?
To what?
You're asking me. Elizabeth, I ain't even here.
So we can just go ahead and assume that Elizabeth has had a full psychic breakdown. Maybe psychic's the wrong word. Maybe psychiatric would be a better word. this might all just be a dream. This all might be hallucinations. This might be some weird metaphysical attempt to explain things that have already been over-explained way too much. Every step we take, it feels like we're adding more complications to what was an already complicated idea of a city at the bottom of the sea, and over the course of 3 games became a city at the bottom of the sea twice, and then a city in the clouds, and then interdimensional travel with many realities. Lots and lots of more ridiculous things. Do I have the ability to run? That's gonna be something I need. Either I'm hitting the wrong button or they've locked it out. This would be interesting, I guess, if there's actually no story at all, no fighting at all.
What are you? Huh? And how did you know exactly what to tell Atlas?
Let me ask you a question. You feeling like yourself, Elizabeth?
I feel strange and smaller. I can't see the doors. What's behind the doors? I can't see the future. I can't even see any tears. Oh my God. Stay away from me. Booker. No, please. Please don't. I died here. I was killed by that. Stay away from me! But then, how am I here? How can I be dead in this world and yet... My finger. What am I? Huh? I don't understand. I...
If we're going to end up in the same place, I don't see the harm in enjoying a ride.
Are you being cute?
I've come round to your way of thinking.
Have you?
Yes. I do believe one can change things, but after all the bother, one often wishes that one had not.
You're a fatalist.
A physicist.
A fatalist.
Interesting, so dark.
Especially when it came to apples falling from trees. They always contrived to land with a splat. She left the child to rot.
Are you implying she's the apple?
I'm implying that she did not fall far from the tree.
And now she wants to go back.
I need to go back. To fix what I broke.
Back to where she has no right to be.
Back to where she doesn't belong.
Doesn't belong? Wait, what do you mean?
Do you want to tell her brother, or shall I?
Because I died.
There are rules.
Even for one such as you.
She'll forget.
All the doors.
And what's behind all the doors?
All closed to her now.
She'll be just like the rest of us.
Forgetting the past.
The present.
The future.
I'd wager she won't even remember this conversation. We've arrived.
So, well, how do I move? Oh, you have to find the X prompt. So she went back in time.
Munitions and croissants for death and mildew.
I left Sally to rot. For what? So I could punish Comstock? He was trying to help her, to save her, and if I don't make that right...
We all have our crosses to bear.
But there is a thin line between a martyr and a fool.
Will that ever go away? I do believe it will. Man. I haven't seen a story so badly written in a game that you had to backpedal in quite a while. Most of the time, you just don't bother. I suppose Mass Effect Andromeda might be a good example of a game that recently they've decided to backpedal on, but that's mostly not because of the story. Although I don't think the story was amazingly interesting.
Me that if I came back here, I would collapse.
Collapse?
From a quantum superposition. It's just
Don't
me.
touch yourself, you might explode.
I've changed, Booker. No tears, no cosmic knowledge. Just a normal girl. With a normal pinky. If I can't open tears, I'm never leaving here, am I? I'm never going back to Paris.
Well, there's a Paris probably on this
And
reality.
you're just what? You're just the fragments of my memory telling me what my future holds?
You decided to come here, Elizabeth. You knew what that meant. Only option, as I see it, is to trust yourself. Find Suchong.
Now, of course, we know that they genetically grew Jack from the first game, so it wouldn't be amazingly surprising to me if it turns out they genetically grew her and gave her memories. And so she didn't really do the things that she thinks are happening. So we need to now also be out on the lookout for phrases like "would you kindly" that might have been brainwashed into you. But right now, I would be happy with just a gun. It's kind of appropriate that you're seeing these red lights as you're going down. It's as if you're being cooked alive, like Sally.
I made my quota. Much. Can't you kind of fell out right for once?
I guess she will have the ability to crawl, but oddly, I can't pick up these weapons and use them.
Relationships, conversation.
I think I'm gonna have to use this air grabber. It's gonna be messy. I don't know if...
Well, a blow to the back of his head will serve just as well. Be a hell of a lot quieter, too.
That's not what you would have done.
I'm not Booker. Just because your father did something one way, doesn't mean you have to.
So this seems like a good solution versus a bad solution.
They never even see me come. No excuse for a racket. Come out and show yourself.
Oh man. So there's all kinds of
Let's work something out.
noise, and I immediately triggered it. So there's potential to play this game multiple times, trying to get the stealth solution.
Paper. Spine on me again.
And it seems like the game is intentionally forcing me, or at least encouraging me to make noise. Brian the Lion.
You'll want to get the drop on him, and quiet. He can't hear what's only in your head.
So this element makes this a game like Thief or Dishonored, which then just takes the game. Press Y for a quick knockout.
Well, he's not getting up anytime soon.
And what with his head all attached to his body.
From here on, it's only gonna get worse.
And how much worse is up to you.
Like, I seriously doubt I could play a couple hours like this. This is yet again taking what I loved about BioShock 1 away from me. They're I hate to use the phrase murdering my childhood memories, but and I wasn't really a child when I played BioShock 1, but there's certainly something to say about them not honoring what was before. See, I can barely even see.
Without the snarl and turmoil of conflict, we become
Mommy, Daddy's girlfriend, Miss Turner.
We are dead.
Today's art lesson, draw a parasite you met today. Oh, thanks. Thanks for doing that. Behind the line reminds you parasites are never welcome.
Child who won't relinquish your ugliest doll simply
Corner of
because
shame.
it's yours.
I will not share my toys. I will not share my toys. Oh, because objectivism is all about not sharing. That's a simplification, but whatever.
Now let's get its lockpick.
We have one lockpick. Let's see. SWA, PAZ. It's not spelling anything. I think it's probably very unfair to say that objectivism and then the idea of libertarianism that came from objectivism inherently says no sharing. It comes from a slightly different angle to say each person should be the best version of themselves and not be limited by government regulation or restriction. I don't think it's, and I don't really like objectivism or libertarianism, but I think it's too extreme to say that they specifically are against the idea. That's a shame of sharing or giving things. If you're gonna buy into that idea, then you also have to rethink what the society is. Why are there toys at all? Why are they allowing gifts to be given? We saw lots and lots of gifts and present boxes in Rapture. And here looks like that furnace room that we were in before. Like chocolates and all of that. All of that makes a lot less sense if you're saying it's something more along the lines of a Klingon society. So we'll move on from that though. But it does kind of point out a lack of understanding of even your own story,
right tools and know-how.
or the own topic you're talking about.
A neutral pin will open the door. A blue pin will open the door and knock free a noisemaker. A red pin will open the door, but also sound an alarm.
So now we've got a lockpick mechanic.
Just a 6-pin tumbler. But there's an alarm. That could come in handy, though.
Press X to probe the neutral pins and open the lock. Your red pin will open the lock, but also sound an alarm. So it's just a quick timing mechanism. Let's see. These look like real names. To use a med kit, press right. Interesting. So we're back to the old style of gameplay. Now we can hold on to med kits. And so Here we're getting the child dumbed down version of Andrew Ryan's speech.
Ryan the lion says, "Chew on that, you parasite."
Let's watch this all the way through. Is it not going to loop?
Hello, children. I'm Ryan the lion. I'm here to tell you about Peter the parasite. If I bake a pie, isn't it mine to enjoy? No, says Peter the parasite. We all deserve a piece. If I earn a nickel, isn't it my right to buy candy if I see fit? No, says Peter the parasite. You must only buy fruits and vegetables. If I can afford to see the doctor, is it my concern that others cannot? No, says the damnable parasite. We must all crowd our way into the physician's office. Ryan the lion says, "Chew on that, you parasite."
Of course, when people don't have food or entertainment in the form of candy or something else, or health care, you know what goes up like crazy? Crime and theft. 2 + 2 = 4. 4 - 5 = 1. This should be 11. Well, that's not gonna work. What if I took a 7 + 2? That would be 9. And put that in there. All the young entrepreneurs need their arithmetic. And so you have Rapture, where it, instead of money being really the currency, Adam became the currency, and thus interesting.
What was that?
Memories.
You know, don't you?
The doors, they're cracking open. My memories of the future and somewhere I'm going to go.
You sure it's your future you're looking at?
If not mine, then whose?
Maybe Sally's. Maybe this is the beginning of an idea that Sally would be the new Elizabeth and they could continue the series. Communism is a sham, outdated, is a mistake, is no good, delusion, hypocrite, a lie to the people, invented by the parasites, property theft, a stupid idea, stealing, is moochers. And for that, empathy is for weak people, is for the unfit. One of these is scratched out. Was that smart? Not a value, drags you down, is for parasites, is stupid, not positive, not a virtue. I mean, you don't have to have any empathy, though, whatsoever, to see why there's a logical reason to keep people around you happy and healthy, just so they won't rob you and become violent and be unsettled. And, you know, at a countrywide scale, keeping people happy and healthy stops them from complaining about the government too much. And I suppose if Rapture hadn't succumbed to what it did succumb to, it would have probably succumbed to just internal fighting if Andrew Ryan hadn't. For the pacification of disruptive children. What are these? Are these guns? Are these boards to beat them with? I I don't even know. But it's almost as if I've played this before, because every argument that I'm making is kind of getting pointed out. It's like people will become disruptive if they are not happy, and then you end up pacifying them. So is this just going to be Atlas? So do I have any reason to not just walk up to him? I guess I have to assume. Pick up this crossbow.
Sure you're ready to use that?
It's a crossbow. Looks like the bolt delivers some kind of sleep agent. Probably phencyclidine or sodium thiopental. They had all kinds of books in my tower. How do you think I always knew what ammo to toss you?
Knowing ain't the same as being ready.
Why don't you ask Comstock how ready I was?
Your father's blood runs in your veins, but it doesn't have to be on your hands.
And what
It's
does
up to
Ryan
you.
the Lion warn us?
A stealthy approach is safer and more efficient. Sneak up on foes and perform melee attacks. If you're spotted, get out of there and keep quiet.
Those who cannot create will always steal from those who do.
Inherently, this is a society built around the idea of dividing people. There will always be a parasite that they make up, whoever it is. I guess I can't take this bit on.
What does Ryan the Lion tell us about the tragedy of the commons? Peter the Parasite says share. I heard that. Two-bit intellectuals think they know.
So now we get.
You're against a guy making an honest buck. Rapture was open for business.
There's no free lunch, so.
First, a law against bribery. Then, you'll want some fella in my privy advising how I defecate.
There's. That's one of the many sayings that gets said a lot. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Inherently, though, there at some point in the future, maybe such thing as that. We, as a planet, every single life form on Earth gets a free lunch in the sense of the sun giving us energy. If we get enough technology to be able to convert energy into the direct preparation of completely edible food, that's a free lunch right there. And we kind of have had something like that. Plants and fruits and vegetables grow for free as long as the plants and fruits and vegetables can grow. But as we have more automation, it's not beyond the idea that we could have solar-powered robots that tend farms, grow crops, deliver all the food that they grow to automated factories that process and preserve all of that, and then you may just have some automated machine that delivers it directly to wherever you are. Which is to say that Star Trek future seems possible more and more every day, assuming we don't blow up the sun or do something equally disastrous. It would be funny if I was actually playing as a little sister and I was simply not seeing things as they actually are. That would be actually quite interesting. So I'm actually a little sister who is actually crawling through the old vents. I guess I could have used these, but I figured there was something there. Law against bribery, and that is an interesting perspective to have. It's like there shouldn't be a law against bribing people in positions of authority. I have no idea where this guy is, though. Let's see. Like, at a certain level, Andrew Ryan kind of doesn't believe in anything being criminal. Like, if you can do it, you should be able to do it. That's what Andrew Ryan
Seems to me you're against a guy making an honest buck. I thought Rapture was open for business.
So unlike the previous DLC element, where we saw the shinier side of this Rapture, now we're, I guess, going to hear and get some of the dialogue of the splicers and in the people particularly stuck in this prison. This is the principal's office. Proper discipline, official procedure. For problem children, use of possession is advised. So they actually have possession, and they are totally willing to just use it on them, which possession doesn't last that long, but maybe it lasts longer on, like, here's possession right here. You would think I might be able to drink it. This just feels so wrong, but I don't want to break out of this. I suppose what we'll find is we'll eventually run right into a Big Daddy, and I imagine the Big Daddy will require us to use the other gun. So but I just don't feel really good about this. And this is just another doorway. We've already been here. This just doesn't feel like BioShock. It's not the running and gunning and being overpowerful and able to take on major amounts of enemies. Like, this feels like something that would have worked well at the very beginning of one of the BioShock games, but makes no sense now.
Look, Suchong,
or at the end.
That's the name you had me tell Atlas. Huh.
I don't follow.
Looks like this character Suchong has taken over the Silverfin restaurant. That's where the tear was that I used when I first came to Rapture looking for Comstock. Before this place was turned into a prison.
But the first time you came to Rapture was in 1960, with Booker, when you drowned some...
Over a year from now. Yeah, that's right. When I could see all the doors, it all made sense, but now it's just a jumble.
Elizabeth, you're bleeding.
Now I know what it feels like. All right, if we're gonna find Suchong, the Silverfin is the place to start. I know the way.
So I don't even know what they're really saying there. That time and space seem to not be completely working in the way you would expect. Wonder if I could use possession on this. Free men and free markets.
Are you in the know? There has been a lot of idle talk from gadflies and naysayers following the nationalization of Fontaine Futuristics. I believe in free men and free markets, but I also believe in my city. And Frank Fontaine's purpose was nothing less than the destruction of Rapture. It was he who gave comfort to the laggards and layabouts. It was he who coddled the tramps and vagabonds. Fontaine was poisoning the people of Rapture. But his venom wasn't made of arsenic or strychnine. No. It was concocted from something far deadlier. It was brewed from altruism.
Now you know.
So apparently they're going to go heavy on the idea of being anti-altruistic, and I don't know what they're really preaching to, or who they're preaching to, really. Like, pure people, pure libertarians that really believe in that ideal, or pure objectivists, aren't going to care one bit what this game says. People who don't know anything about it aren't going to care one bit and just take it on face value as being just a weird story with nothing else to really mention there. I guess I need a lockpick? So, I don't think it actually is preaching these as good values, but I think it's also doing what you would call straw man, probably, as far as this being a bad values. Let's see, I think, am I gonna be able to open this? Interesting. That worked. I was not expecting that to work. I was expecting it to instead tell me there's a purse somewhere. Here it is. I was expecting it to tell me something different and have me go this direction over here. And seems like I can open this way too. Rapture's Man of Steel, Big Daddy, Cupid's Arrow. Sex without compromise.
In the know?
This will be interesting.
Human reproduction is vitally important to society, but there is no reason that the act of copulation cannot be pleasurable as well. Remember these tips. Sex is egotistical. Without self-esteem, those participating in coitus are revealed to be fraudulent, hypocritical animals. Ego is indispensable in the bedroom. Negotiate with your mate. Intercourse can be mutually beneficial to both parties. Set out expectations with your partner beforehand, outlining the services you will provide one another, and hold them to their side of the deal. Never forget, oral contracts and handshake deals are for starry-eyed gigolos. Always get it in writing. Your pleasure is your business. Remember, you come first. Nobody's going to keep an eye on your pleasure except you. Don't be left high and dry. Armed with this knowledge, go forth now and enjoy Sexual Congress the Rapture way.
What in the world was that? None of that advice is good. See, now what I'm thinking is that this is really just an attempt by the game to perhaps dissuade the few people that thought Andrew Ryan might have had it right. And I mean few. I suspect that you would have found.
I was here as well. Right after I came through, I needed something to wear that was a little more Rapture appropriate.
And so now we're going into a sex shop. Alright. We'll see how far this goes. See the temptation, appetite for sin. Co-eds. Farmer's daughter. Pearly gates. Mother may I. Below decks.
You didn't have these books in my tower.
Gender bender liberation found borders below. Meet Chris, who sexually knows no boundary. Interesting. And what's gonna be past the triple X's? Somebody had fun carving statues and 3D animating these, 2D animating these. I bet. This is gonna be weird if I get a special ability that has something to do with sex.
Dear madam, I have received your letter regarding our new line of peeping Tom plasmids and wish to respond thusly. Tough luck. This is Rapture, miss. What my customers do with my product is their business. If you are feeling uncomfortable, you are more than welcome to line the walls of your home in lead. If you wish, I could direct you to a reputable supplier.
So there is something. A peeping Tom ability to see through walls. And I don't think I'm gonna get like different outfits. That would be odd. Just time. But if there's a blue one, I'm not seeing him, so I don't know if maybe it only turns blue after the fact or what. It's almost a wonder how you would have any little sisters at all if that's the way they have relationships.
Disappear from sight, see through walls, and sneak up on your foes.
Oh, so it's like three different abilities.
Splicers. I could use this plasmid and see them through the walls, or if worst comes to worst, turn completely invisible and get the drop on them.
Press while standing still to see the enemies through the wall. So there's one. There's one. And there's nobody over here.
Hey, there you are.
And see, I just picked up my necklace.
How many times have I asked Antonio for lockers with actual locks on them? I come back from lunch and the ensemble I just bought is gone. Stolen. But here's what takes the cake. The thief left an outfit in exchange.
At first, I was gonna toss that thing, but then I kind of fell in love with it. It's an old-timey number with a corset, no less. It ain't exactly today's fashion, but I'm a girl. I can tell good craftsmanship when she sees it.
Performing a melee attack on an alert enemy will only stun him. Evade your foe until he loses track of you.
That only seems to be knocking them back.
You're only gonna do real damage that way. They don't see you coming.
And see.
You don't have my permission to leave. Hurry up and come out. I got a lot of irons in the fire.
So this really is a different way of playing.
What did you mean before when you said you were in Paris?
It wasn't really Paris. It was more of the world as I want to see it. I suppose I wasn't really happy there. We'd all be better off, us DeWitts, if we could leave well enough alone.
Here you can see this lady's throwing away a bunch of flowers. There's the lockpick. Do I really need to pick this lock though? See, that seems like a waste to go through that. That would be something you would normally do, I suppose, if I was in the middle of this competition trying to still take out some splicers. So not too bad. Oh. Like, I thought this could have been a lot worse. But instead it's just a few coins and a few other things.
Everything goes all right inside. Jack of all trades, master of none. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Let's see, I don't know if this would be really
Anyone ever clean these seats?
a case of splicers respawning.
Did I lock the door?
I'm stuck on the edge.
He'll see me again if I say his name 4 times.
And no possession means that I can't really do anything with that. I'm carrying 4 lockpicks now? Really? How did I go from that? Seriously, how did I go from having no lockpicks to 4? We will get possession. We're gonna get Ironsides and Old Man Winter also. So for actual inventory items. We might as well do this, I suppose. Then if I really have 4 of these. I sure went from having none to... Darn it. And that'll hurt me. And it seems like no splicers got alerted to that, though. So suppose the question will certainly come about if we find out that the locks don't ever unlock anything else. I guess I could have done this. She makes a slightly different sound than Booker. While airborne, press B to crouch quietly so you can sneak that way. Interesting. Well, it's been a little bit over an hour, and oddly, we're playing a stealth game instead of BioShock Infinite. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.